In part 2 of our Cacio e Pepe perfection journey, we're going to try a very controversial method, and that's making the sauce in a blender. So here we are, part 2, same pasta as before. Overall, we're going to use the same ingredients, but we're going to use a method that I saw online that uses a blender to pre-make the sauce. The cheese is the same. This is 160 grams of Pepe Romano, and we're just going to mix that with a little bit of a starch slurry. You could use any kind of starch you want. This is just heated up in a little bit of warm water just so it dilutes better. I'm using cornstarch, but you could use potato starch if you want. And now we're going to do everything else almost identical. We're going to get a little bit of black pepper here, toasting over some heat just to let some of those flavors and aromas out. We're going to do almost everything identical. The sauce is the only thing different. I wanted a little more black pepper than last time though, so we added a little extra in there, and we're just letting that go. After a minute or two, we're going to get that pasta in, same as before. Try to cook it in as little water as you can get away with, so it's extra starchy. Once that starch comes out in the pasta, pour it into the pan and let it kind of cook and meld together with that black pepper. I'm not going to reduce it as much as I did the first time also, that way it's just a little bit more helpful in the making of the sauce. But now we're going to use that blender to make this come together. As you can see, after sitting for a minute, the starch slurry is kind of turned into a gel, and that's almost what you're looking for. The gel is that beautiful starch concoction that's going to make this luscious and beautiful. We're going to toss that cheese and that cornstarch right into the blender here. We definitely need more water, but we're starting with just what we had there to begin with. Mix it up. I can tell right away it's not going to become very liquidy, so we add a little bit of more water from the pot, a little extra starchy water. Trying to not use too much of it. If it's too hot, you may get some clumping issues, but that's what we're looking for there. That's coming together perfectly. I want it a little looser than that, so we're going to add in one more touch of that water, and we're good to go. That is your sauce. Super easy. You can get it as thick or as loose as you want over there, and once the pasta's ready, throw it into that pan with that pepper sauce, if you want to call it. It's just the starchy water and pepper. Mix it together. I know I shouldn't be using metal tongs and a non-stick. This pan is almost garbage time, and I'm being very careful to not scrape up the bottom. But don't repeat after me. Use rubber tongs in your non-sticks. Add a little more water in there as you need it. You do want to make sure this is fairly saucy and let it cook for that last minute in this water in the pan. And now we're going to add in that cheese sauce. I'm going to add it very little by little so I can kind of control the consistency. But you could tell right off the bat mixing this in, it becomes instantly creamy, velvety, delicious. You're not worrying about melting that cheese perfectly. I do have the heat off right now just to make sure it doesn't clump or anything, but it really won't. So I'm going to turn that heat back on very low just to keep this warm as I cook it. Add a little more in to get that achieved consistency that you're looking for. At the moment, it's a little bit loose, so I'm just going to let it kind of tighten up over the next minute or two, and then that's what you're looking for right there. Look at how absolutely beautiful that is. Getting in nice and close with it, you could tell that it's saucy. It's a little bit too tight, so I'm going to add in a splash of pasta water, but there are no clumps. It's coating the noodles perfectly. You don't really need to baby this sauce too much because it is perfectly emulsified from the blender, but I'm just going to add that little extra pasta water in to loosen it up a bit. You can loosen it a little more if you want also, but that's perfect. This has been sitting now for a minute while I got a plate out and cleaned up a little bit, and it hasn't seized on me. It's still loose. It's still beautiful. It's coating the pasta, which is the most important part. It's not too loose. It's not too thick and just chunks of cheese mixed throughout. It is a proper sauce, enough that you could pour the extras over, which I haven't really achieved in past dishes. I'm going to hit that with a little extra pepper, a little bit of extra cheese. And now we're going to dive in and see consistency, taste, all that kind of stuff. But right away you could tell it's what a bowl of Cacio e Pepe should look like. That being said, I definitely cheated a little bit. I don't think the blender, even if this is perfect, which taste-wise it is pretty spot on. I could have made it maybe a little bit looser, but I'm still searching for that handmade perfection. This is a perfect compromise if you don't want to try it any other ways, which you may not want at home on a weeknight. This will make the perfect bowl of pasta for you easily. I'm still searching for it without the blender though.